I've taken in the evenings after I finish working from home to watching old episodes of Home Improvement. And tonight's episode, one of tonight's episodes, dealt loosely with the ballet. And of course, because he's your typical masculine archetype, Tim Allen is totally against the ballet simply because it's ballet. And I'm sure there's some lesson that he learns in that. But it got me thinking about my experience with the ballet. I've had a little bit more exposure to the ballet than he has. According to him in the show, he did about 36 minutes of ballet. I took a girl on a date once, 2014, to see Swan Lake. It was around her birthday, it was for her birthday, even though it was after her birthday by a significant amount. So I think my experience may have been tainted by that because she was super testy that I hadn't done anything for her birthday on her birthday. Never mind the fact that she didn't do anything for mine on my birthday, but that's another story. We saw the entire ballet. It was a fair price at a good venue and a good experience. But as I sat there next to her and watched the show, which I had never seen before, and it was the first time I'd ever been to ballet, I realized that I would really have to like a woman a lot to go to the ballet again. Now, I've seen a lot of what would be considered to be culturally relevant art displays in my lifetime. For several months, about 20 years ago, I lived in Vienna. I have been to the Vienna National Opera. I have seen the Vienna Boys Choir, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I have seen Der Fledermaus. I think that's the bat. I've also seen, at the time, what's it in English? Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Seville. I went to I've seen Volksmarches and cultural things. I mean, I lived in Europe. I've lived in Europe for many years of my life, for about 20% of the years I've been alive. And so I can say with some degree of certitude that I've not only had the opportunity, but taken the opportunity to be exposed to culturally relevant experiences. Many of those I would do again. I have since been to the opera. I've been to the theater. I love Shakespeare. Every year when the Utah Shakespeare Festival comes, I try to see it. Assuming, of course, they actually post it on campus so that I'm reminded that the first week of February they'll be here doing a show for $12 in our theater. But when it comes to ballet, I'm of a totally different opinion. I found it to be an unpleasant experience. Admittedly, it could have been the company. But given that I had that experience, I can say that I would have to really, really, really like a woman to go to the ballet again. One other caveat, it could have been that the group I saw doing it, the Nevada Ballet troupe here in Las Vegas, was the reason why I didn't enjoy it. So if I had the opportunity to see a ballet somewhere else, I might take that opportunity just because sometimes a different group makes all the difference. The reason I say that is because several years ago, in the same month, both the Utah Shakespeare Festival and the Las Vegas Shakespeare troupe did the exact same play. It was Macbeth. Yeah, because it was Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane. So they both did Macbeth, and I saw the Utah Shakespeare Festival first. That was $12. The Las Vegas Shakespeare Company was for free in a city park. But I would rather see the Utah Shakespeare Festival than the big trumped-up production that the City Group put on. So based on that experience, I would give another group an opportunity and not swear off ballet. I still think it would take a great degree of energy to motivate me to attend the ballet again. But about halfway through, I felt it was tortuous, and I couldn't wait for it to be over. Again, granted, it could have been the company of players. It could have been the company beside me. I just had a really bad experience, and it's turned me off to see any other ballet performances in my life. Perhaps the only other one I might be interested in seeing for itself is the Nutcracker, because of its Christmas relevance. But we'll see if and when that ever raises its head, and if the price is sufficiently low enough where I don't feel like I would be throwing away a lot of money for something that I don't expect to enjoy. Sort of like having to pay for your, out of pocket to get a root canal. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the ballet, my thoughts on this, experiences, and the bias based on previous experience. In other words, one exposure does not need to dictate all of your opinion. An opinion that is built based on facts is a fool's opinion. And although I do have some experience, I don't really have enough to say with certitude the ballet is awful or that I don't like it for itself. I think I would have liked it a lot more if I'd had better company. But that's another story for another time. Godspeed, good night, find some good entertainment, and stay safe out there.